start actually getting in our book and doing this reading and thinking and talking, I want us to make sure that if I ask you to turn and talk to a partner, we have those established. So just stay where you are, and I'm going to let you know who your partner is going to be today. So you two will be partners. Can you turn knee to knee, eye to eye? You two will be partners, knee to knee, eye to eye. You two lovely ladies will be partners, knee to knee, eye to eye. Make your bodies look like these guys, so that will be your partner. You two are going to be partners, knee to knee, eye to eye. You two will be partners, knee to knee, eye to eye. I love it when you look at your partner and you give them a great big smile. That's such a nice gesture. You two are going to be turn and talk partners. You two will be turn and talk partners. Love those smiles. You are going to be a turn and talk trio. That means 3, so you guys come together. Are there any more kids coming?
No, I have 17, so I haven't.
Okay, so you've got your turn and talk partner. Now, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I say shared, you say reading. Shared.
Reading.
Shared.
Reading.
Make your body face this way. Now the next thing I need to check is to make sure that you can all see. So if you, let's let you guys scoot in. You're going to be able to see the words if you're reading. Scoot in.
I can.
Scoot in. Can you see it? It's right here. Can you see it? Okay. Can you see it all the way back there? You can see? All right. So with this new book that we're going to be taking a look at and doing reading and thinking and talking with today, I want us to take just a minute and I want us to look at the cover. Eyes are looking this way. Because if we're going to be reading and thinking and talking together, we need to have an idea about our book. And so I'm looking at the cover, and I know I always have a title, and usually there's a picture on this book. And so when we look at the cover of this book, and we put our eyes, or focus our eyes on the title, we can start to think about what this book's going to be about. So can you read the title with me? Up the haystack. Look how they put the words, up the haystack. And then I just want you to look here. I want you to look. And I'd like you to look here. And Sally Moss wrote this book that we're going to read today, a story, a fiction book that tells us a story that has characters and a setting and a problem and a solution. And the cool little pictures that we're going to see were illustrated by Bettina Ogden. So when we look at the cover of this book, readers take a look at a cover and they can start to think, they can start to predict what this book might be about. Where do we think? Think a minute. Just think in your head. When I see all this hay and I see this girl, talk to us.
She's on the top of the haystack.
And the haystack is on a, or at a
Farm.
A farm. The setting of a farm is going to be important to our book, and I think you guys may know some things about a farm. So let's take a minute and think. What could you share with your turn and talk partner? Not yet. Let me tell you what you're going to share. That you know about a farm. What can you tell? One thing that you know about a farm. And we'll kind of get that out. Turn and talk and share it with your talking partner. One thing you know about a farm. Oh, maybe so. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I say hey, you say stack. Hey, stack, hey, stack, hey, stack. There are lots of things that I heard that you have in your head that you can think about when you think about a farm. So as a reader, as I get ready to do this reading and thinking and talking, what we're going to be focusing in on today is right up here. So we've already looked at the cover and we're starting to think about what we know about a farm.
I can't see one.
You can't see that, okay?
Oh,
as a reader, what I can start to think about, my reading work today, is I can make predictions. Predictions are like guesses. So I can start to look at the cover of my book and I can start to predict or think about, make some guesses about what might happen in this book. Maybe we have some more tape.
Yeah.
And then we'll let you kind of. Predictions or guesses. And as I read this fiction book, I can make these predictions or these guesses using what's on the cover. So we've already looked at the cover. What was the title on the cover?
Up the haystack.
Yeah. And we can also look and see what's on the back. And see what the author wrote on the back to give us a little bit more of a sneak peek as we start to, how about just right here and then I'll flip it as we go. Thank you, sorry. Okay. So I'll look at the back, friends. Thank you for being flexible when we were doing some readjustment. What's it say here? Life on a farm can be very busy. There is always so much to do and discover, to find out, to explore. Okay, so this reading work that I have today is to make predictions, make guesses in my fiction book, and I can use the cover, what's here, and we know that this haystack is on a farm, and we read on the back that we're going to be reading about life on a farm. So it happens in a farm, that's the setting, and here's what I see on the cover. What do I think? What do I predict might happen in this book? What might this little girl do? I predict that readers talk when they share their ideas like readers. I predict that. I know it's on a farm, that's the setting. And we looked at the cover at that little girl on the haystack. What do we predict might happen with this little girl on the farm? What's she on it? Can you say more about that? Thank you for using the cover to make it easy. Say more about that. What else might she do on the haystack?
There's by the sink.
Get it real fast.
Oh, wow.
What'd you shoot with your talking part? We see that on the picture. Can you say more about that? Thank you for using the cover, but what else might she do? Get off the haystack and then go around. What would be something, thinking about the setting, that would be something she could do? What could you predict or guess that she might do? I say hey, you say stack. Hey, stack, hey, stack. Hey, so many predictions. Second grade readers make really good predictions because they're thinking about the cover and they're thinking about and the setting. Hold on. What'd you say, baby? I'm going to write, everybody was using this language. I predict, or my guess is, my prediction is, oh, friend right here in the pink.
I predict she'll milk a cow.
If we know the setting's on a farm, does that make sense that she might milk a cow?
Yeah.
Heck yeah, that's a reasonable prediction. Milk a cow. And your partner said, can you say what your partner said? What did she say to you? Hands down.
Ride a horse.
Farm, horse, the setting's a farm, ride a horse. Does that make sense for a prediction? Let's write that down. Ride a horse. Hands down, hands down. I talked to this group right here. What'd you say? What'd y'all talk about?
I said the girl, she's gonna go on top of the hay and she's gonna stand and she's gonna see the sun and then she might play.
Listen up, all the friends. Listen up. Stop and say it one more time. I don't think we had everybody focused. If you could hand that to the lady sitting with your teacher, I bet she'll hold on to that for you until we finish. Say yours again, babe. Real loud. Use the language of the reader. I predict.
She is going to climb up and stand and see the sun, and then she is gonna look at the sun. Look at the sun.
Yeah, these guys were and they looked at the cover, they looked real carefully at this picture, and they said, I predict she's going to go up on the haystack and stand up there. And we talked about, well, we see that, right? What else might she do? And you said, look at the sun. So I'm just going to add that part. Look at the sun. We're already kind of thinking about going up on top of the haystack. What y'all talk about right here? Use the language of a reader. I predict
that she is going to beat the animals with the hay.
Say what she said. Can you repeat what she said?
I think she predicts I will see the animals. I will feed those animals.
That's why we got to talk real loud, friends, so everybody can hear. What'd you say to her?